Hello everyone, welcome to StudyIQ English channel. I am your educator Praveen Mishra, and let's begin the interesting topics, that is the burning topic for the day. Self-styled godmen, from Asharam to Ram Rahim. We know it very well in the name of religion, how they have deceived, how they have manipulated the whole world, not just in India but even outside that. What we have seen that how the ashrams of these so-called self-styled godmen have been the hub of all the illicit crimes and all the unethical activities, including from the trade of legislators, assault, rape, murder, and every particular crime that is mentioned in the rule books of the criminals. Not the criminals, but the criminal procedure codes or the penal codes of our country. So this is what we know about India. But are we aware that these type of governments, these type of organizations are also across in multiple nations? And one such particular type of nation is Japan. Yes, Japan, though on paper is a very secular country, following Buddhism at its best, and no harm in that, no problem in that. But yes, there is an organization in the state of Japan, in the country of Japan, that is nonetheless than the Ram Rahim's, Dera Sacha Sauda, or ashrams and so on, right? The name is the Mooni's Church, also popularly known as the Unification Church, or shall we call it the Unification Church, popularly known as the Mooni's Church. It's in news since last 3.5 years plus every time when the ex-president, ex-premier, ex-prime minister of the country of Japan, one of the greatest personalities into the international politics or the geopolitics, Shinzo Abe, great and late Shinzo Abe, was shot dead at point blank range. The one who shot him was caught by the authorities in not much longer of the time, and when he confessed his crime, he stated clearly that he was under the influence of the Mooni's Church. And the Mooni's Church, they just influenced him to ask or simply to assassinate the ex-prime minister of Japan, that is Shinzo Abe. So the story today here, what is the news that we need to discuss? The court in Japan has ordered the disbandment of the controversial Unification Church, which came under scrutiny after shocking killing of former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe in the year 2012. The whole story. The alleged assassin had confessed that he held a grievance against Abe because of the ex-leader's ties with the church. He blamed the church for the bankruptcy for the family. And apart from that, Japan's Education and Culture Ministry sought the church's dissolution and accused it of manipulating the followers into making huge donations and other financial sacrifices. Simply what we see in India, that how the so-called Babas, call it from any religion, from Hinduism, from Sikhism, from Islam to Christianity or so on, these self-styled godmens, how they manipulate the masses and how they just cut up their pockets and fill up their banks. This is what is happening in India. This is what is also happening in the country of Japan. But the church, more popularly known as the Moonies, argued that the donations were part of the legitimate religious activities. People are sacrificing their money, their assets, their family members, in fact, specifically women, to the church. It's part of the religious practices. Please do not blame it, right? Religion can do no wrong, as according to these self-styled governments, right? So, the factors. The order handed down by a Tokyo District Court will stripe the church of its tax-exempt status and require it to liquidate its assets, but it will still be allowed to operate in Japan. Simply, they have taken up the special status. Till now, they were not the subject to pay the taxes. The taxes were exempted. And apart from that, now their assets will be seized and it will be liquidated and will be taken away by the government of Japan as well, for which they are protesting at large. The next thing here. During their investigation, authorities found that the church coerced followers into buying expensive items by exploiting fears about their spiritual well-being. Why does religion needs much of the money? The church, using all the coercive measures, is making its followers to sell away their properties and buy expensive gifts for itself. The church, right? They interviewed nearly 200 people who said they were victimized by the church. 200 of them. At least 200 of them have spoken. Don't know about the thousands others. The Unification Church, which was started in South Korea. Actually, the fact is, Unification Church started in South Korea, not in Japan. Has established a presence in Japan since the 1960s, and the name Moonies was derived from the founder, that is Sun Myung Moon. Yeah, Sun Myung Moon. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Could be, or whatsoever. The spelling says Sun, S-U-N, Sun, or Moong, M-Y-U-N-G, or M-O-O-N. So from here, they derived their name, that is Moonies, right? Okay. So started where? In the country of South Korea, reached Japan in 1960s, took the name Unification Church, popularly known as Moonies Church. Why? Because of the founding personality, Sun Myung Moon, right? Okay. Now let's just discuss some of the UPSC CSC related questions with regard to the topic, that is Japan, South Korea, as well as let's connect it with India. So here we go. What is the General Security of Military Information Agreement, GSOMIA, between Japan and South Korea? What it is basically a trade agreement on high-tech materials, a military intelligence sharing pact, a treaty resolving historical disputes, or a maritime border agreement. So GSOMIA, GSOMIA, that is General Security of Military Information Agreement. Name itself gives the clear-cut answer that yes, it's a military intelligence sharing pact. Through the GSOMIA, both the countries, they signed the treaty in 2016, okay, to facilitate intelligence sharing on North Korea's military activities. Okay, so Japan, one of the adversaries of North Korea as well, signed a deal with South Korea to share the activities of North Korea into the adjoining areas. Okay, so in 2019, with the relations between the two countries saw the distortion, that is South Korea and Japan. So South Korea threatened Japan that it will withdraw itself from the GSOMIA, for which Japan said, I don't give it a damn. Next question. The territorial dispute between Japan and South Korea over the Dokdo or the Takeshima Island is related to which body of water or which water body? So you know it now. There is an information with the question itself that a territorial dispute is going on between Japan and South Korea, and the name of the territory in dispute is Dokdo, or also known as Takshima. So the question is, where is this Dokdo or Takshima falling? In which particular water body? East China Sea, Yellow Sea, Sea of Japan, or South China Sea? So the correct answer is Sea of Japan. That is the East Sea. So the Dokdo in Korea and Takeshima in Japan, they are located in the Sea of Japan, called the East Sea in South Korea. Though presently controlled by South Korea, but Japan claims sovereignty over it. Okay. Next question here. The AXA, Acquisition and Cross-Servicing Agreement, signed between India and Japan in 2020, focuses on AXA, ACSA, that is Acquisition and Cross-Servicing Agreement, signed between India and Japan in the year 2020. Focuses on joint naval exercises, intelligence sharing on terrorism, reciprocal military logistics support, or nuclear technology exchange. What is the correct answer here? So moving on to the correct answer, simply it is reciprocal military logistics support. Okay, this is with regard to India and Japan, that is signed in the year 2020. It allows the armed forces of India and Japan to use each other's military bases for logistics, refueling, and supplies. Okay, here we have the next question. What is Korea Plus initiative launched in 2016? So the statement itself is an answer. Okay, Korea Plus launched in 2016, not answer, sorry, is an information. So what it is, a diplomatic mission to promote cultural exchange, a defense collaboration program between India and South Korea, investment facilitation platform for South Korean companies in India, or a joint military training program. So A, B, C, or D. What is Korea Plus? Here we go with the answer. It's C, that is an investment facilitation platform for South Korean companies existing in India or operating in India. Korea Plus. Okay, guys, so that's it with this topic from my side here in this session. Thank you so much for watching me, and please do subscribe for the channel if you haven't done yet. And apart from that, yes, please do provide your feedback as well into the comment section, and any topic you want me to take on, please do provide that as well, so that it can be taken into the consideration, and for sure it will be, right? Okay, guys, thank you once again. See you all soon in the very next one. Bye bye, take care, study well, Jai Hind.